Um, Very good morning to everyone, and also good afternoon to the delegates
Good
who
morning.
joined from Japan. And first of all, let me take this opportunity to warmly welcome everyone to this important session on introduction to Japanese technology to Sri Lankan agriculture. And well, before I move on to the details, let me welcome the few important, the distinguished guests to the today's online forum. May I welcome the Chief Secretary, the Chairman of ISB, Mr. PBM Sirisena, Mrs. Geeta Dharmasiri, the Secretary, Provincial Minister of Agriculture, and also the Provincial Director of Agriculture. And similarly, we also have invited the project director, the World Bank funded agriculture sector modernization project, Dr. Vijay Kon. And also with us, we also have invited a couple of other development agencies, the universities, leading universities, the deans of the agriculture faculties in Sri Lanka. And in addition, we also have invited most of the leading private sector companies in Sri Lanka who have actively engaged in promoting agriculture technology in Sri Lanka. And on top of that, uh, Ayubowan, and very warm welcome to our Japanese delegates, and very good afternoon to everyone. And let me mention the few names from the delegates who joined from Kyobo Corporation. Mr. Koremasa Tamura, CEO, Mr. Masatusna Abe, Chief Environment Division of Kyowa Corporation, Mr. Krishna Bayu, Environment Division, Overseas Business Strategy, Kyowa Corporation, and then again with us from Japan Conversation Engineers Company Limited, JCE, Mr. Takashi
කළු සුදු 100යි
Shimsutani.
අලු 50යි කළු 50යි.
I'm sorry to, kindly request everyone to mute your microphone. Otherwise, it may distract our the discussion. So kindly request everyone to. I was unable to mention few housekeeping rules. Please mute all your mics. Otherwise, it may distract to our discussion. And also, extremely sorry for the inconvenience. Mr. Takashi Shisunatani, Manager Business Planning Department. I'm extremely sorry, I'm unable to pronounce your name properly. If I'm not properly pronounced, so forgive, beg your pardon. Nayo Uno, again Environmental Department, JCE. And then again with us from Nissan Steel Company, the people who promote the Fresh Mama, Mr. Hideo Nishimoto, Director Nissan Steel Industry, Dr. Shigeki Kawakami, the Institution of Scientific and Industrial Research, Osaka University, Japan. Once again, very warm welcome and Ayubowan and long life for everyone. So, and just to tell you the main objectives of today's program. In fact, and also I'm extremely sorry, my the colleague Miss Yurita Kanno from the ICNet Lanka and also from ICNet Japan. So very warm welcome to you as well, and all delegates, distinguished guests, the special invitees, the ladies and gentlemen. As you are well aware, so we have been very actively working with number of Japanese firms for different projects in Sri Lanka. And we are very happy to announce that ISB is one of the leading organizations for conducting ex post evaluation for the JICA funded projects, public sector investment projects in Sri Lanka. And we have been working with 5 leading Japanese companies. ICNet is one of them, and with their request, we have been engaged in promoting agriculture technology to Sri Lanka. In fact, we had a market study in October 2020. So with that, they have earmarked agriculture sector is one of the areas for them to intervene in Sri Lanka, and thereby, so we have decided to incorporate with them and assist them with the purpose of promoting Sri Lankan agriculture. And especially to give you about the main objectives of the today's program. So we have three main objectives. The first objective is to introduce the Japanese technology to the Sri Lankan agriculture, and also objective number two is to get connected with the Japanese companies with the Sri Lankan counterpart, either the public sector, private sector, development agencies, or the INGOs. We also have invited development agencies and some of the leading INGOs in Sri Lanka. And finally, the most important fact is that, I mean, we have focused this discussion is on more results oriented. It is going to be a more results oriented, and we have, of course, developed the agenda. So at the end of the day, so we will come up with the way forward. And because of that, we have clearly mentioned we have clearly stipulated our final objective with the most important objective. So we need to fix up a couple of the appointments with the Sri Lankan counterparts and the Japanese counterparts to with the focus of developing a model farm for their. So we have three main options. One is the public sector model, where any public sector agency would come up with to work with the Japanese counterparts to establish a model farm in Sri Lanka with the public sector intervention. So that is going to be the public sector model. And then we have a private sector model. If there's any company who wish to work with the Japanese counterparts to establish a model farm in Sri Lanka with the support of the private sector, so they will be working with the Japanese counterparts. And finally, if there's any the development agency or the projects in Sri Lanka or the INGO, if they wish to work with the Japanese counterparts, so we would prefer to discuss with them to individually and take forward this initiative to develop a model farm with them. So this is what the main three objectives we have stipulated today. And at the end of the day, so we are planning to have I'm sure, so you may not be able to discuss, the questions or the rather clarifications in detail. So this is going to be a kind of a just awareness raising program, but we need to have a separate individual business meetings, one-to-one meetings with you all, and then we will, will be facilitating, and from Sri Lankan end, from Japanese end, my colleague, Ms. Yuri Takano, facilitate from the Japanese end. So we'll get together, so we will focus. This initiative is going to be a very fruitful and benefited for the both parties from Sri Lankan point of view and also the Japanese point of view. So with that, let me, for the benefit of our Japanese colleague, let me brief you about who we are, to give you a very basic introduction about the ISB. ISB, so let me share one or two slides for your benefit. ISB is an organization, it's not the private sector entity. ISB is established under the Provincial Council of Northeastern Province in Sri Lanka in 1990. So ISB is the provincial is established under the Northeastern Province, and with the great intention of economic development through industrialization. So that was our main intention of establishing the ISB during at that time of the political leadership of Waimba, Northeastern. And we have three main divisions of ISB. Still, our main division is focused on investment promotion, enterprise development, training and tours. So we are very active in this area. So even we would invite the Japanese counterparts, Japanese businessmen, if you really wish to invest in Sri Lanka, we are here. ISB is here to facilitate you, to support you, to realize your investment in Sri Lanka. So we have established 2 industrial parks in Kurunegala, catering for the small and medium enterprises. So under this division, I'm not going to take much of your time. And then we also have a separate division called Technical and Environmental Services, where we do provide various services for the industry in terms of technology and environmental services. ISB is one of the leading service provider for the Central Environmental Authority for providing the different services for the environmental and technical aspects. And also ISB is the ISO 9000 2015 certified organization, and also we do have a state-of-art technology microbiology laboratory in Kurunagala out of Colombo, which is one of the latest one. And then again, we have a separate division called Project Management and Consultancy, where we work with most of the bilateral agencies, multilateral agencies, development agencies, and also INGOs and the NGOs with various consultancy assignments and the project interventions. So this is about the ISB, and then so we have provided this the basic services, but this is not the correct time for me to give you take much of your time. So with that very brief introduction about ISP, so let me move on to the first item of the agenda. So here I mean, as I already explained you, we have a couple of distinguished guests today. So let me invite Mr. PBM Sirisena, the Chief Secretary, and also he's the Chairman of ISB, to say a few words on behalf of the Northwestern Provincial Council, and also as the Chairman of ISB. Over to you, sir.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Also, good afternoon, who are participating from Japan. All delegates from Kiowa Corporation, Japanese Conservation Engineers, Nissan Steel Industry, ICNet Lanka, and the Secretary Provincial Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Irrigation, all other officials and private sector companies join with us with the invitation of the ISB and ladies and gentlemen. I am really happy to take part in this timely important webinar as the Chief Secretary of Northwestern Province and the Chairman of ISB, which is jointly organized by the ICNet Lanka and ISB for the benefit of agriculture sector stakeholders of Sri Lanka in general and Northwestern Province in particular. I strongly believe that you have taken a timely initiate to introduce Japanese technology to Sri Lankan agriculture in the era of converting our conventional farming to sustainable agriculture with the long-term objective of the National Development Policy framework of the incumbent government. First of all, let me take this opportunity to warmly welcome the delegates from Team Japan and all other delegates from Japan and others who join in Sri Lanka. As per the correct recent statistics, Sri Lanka agriculture sector, which contributed only 7.4% to the GDP and nearly 75% population employed in the sector. Most of the agriculture sector company live in rural areas. Their main livelihood is farming, and their problems and impediments are immense. Land fragmentation, water resource management, economies of scale, dependency mentality, and shifting the youth from agriculture sector to service and industry sector are most common problem in the country. Similarly, Sri Lanka agriculture sector is heavily subsidized right from the beginning, and it was clearly witnessed the lack of productivity and efficiency issues in the entire value chain as a whole. Because of the these reasons, government of Sri Lanka is in the process of introducing modern technology to enhance the agriculture productivity and competitiveness in the sector to compete locally and globally. Similar to the fourth industrial revolution, now the entire world is in the process of reaching global agriculture development, and Sri Lanka is no exception. Because of the current initiative of the incumbent government, converting conventional farming to sustainable agriculture, which is paved the way for the companies in Japan to introduce modern agriculture technology to reach global agriculture development. I do strongly believe that today's event would undoubtedly help our public and private sector stakeholders to interact with the companies in Japan for agriculture technology transfer with the focus of sector expansion. The Provincial Council of the Northwestern Province would like to offer our support and cooperation and join hand with you to establish a model farm in this province with the support of Ministry and the Department of Agriculture for the benefit of our farmer community. Finally, I wish very success of today's program, and I wish to extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to the ICNet Lanka and ISB for organizing such a successful program, inviting public and private sector stakeholders, donor agencies, and some of the projects operating in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your the encouraging comments at the at the outset. In fact, as per the agenda, we have allocated 10 minutes for the self-introduction of the participants. Since we have about over 75 participants join us today, suppose if we take a couple of seconds, it will take long time for us to take the self-introduction. To save the time, let me request the participants who have joined with us to kindly use your chat box and mention your name and the company in order for us to take down the names of the names of the participants and also the organization or the company joined with us. It's very important for us for our the future work or rather the way forward. So with that, I'm not taking this time for self-introduction. Of course, we will move on to the presentations and the discussion. Let me again request you all to make use the chat box and mention your name and the company name for us to get you the details. Next, as per the agenda, so next item is to move into the presentation is going to be done by my colleague, the counterpart from ICNet Japan, and also she the one who recently established operation in Sri Lanka, ICNet Sri Lanka. She'll be making a presentation on proposed business development activities between Sri Lanka and Japan, and also especially especially with the focus of agriculture technology transfer intervention in Sri Lanka. Over to you, Miss Yuri Takano, the consultant from.
Thank you very much, Miyaka-san. Yes. Good morning for the participants from Sri Lanka, and then good afternoon from Japan. My name is Yuri Takano. So now I would like to introduce our project and then ourselves and our project. Let me share my slide. Can you see the slides?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
全画面になってないかな。
ちょっと今、I'm doing to make it a slideshow, but it seems to be the laptop is like freezing or clogging. So yeah, let me start. So Mr. PBM Sirisena, Chief Secretary and Chairman of ISP, and Mr. Gita Damasri, Secretary, Provincial Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fishery and Irrigation, Northwestern Province. Mr. Cicera Kumara, Provincial Director, Agriculture, Northwestern Province, and Director, National Post-Harvest Management Institute, and then Dr. Rohan Vijayakon and officers from World Bank funded Agriculture Modernization Project. And all leading private sector CEO, Managing Director, and officials of the donor agencies. I would like to introduce ourselves. Yeah, so my name is Yuri Takano and I'm from ICNet Lanka, but ICNet Lanka is one of the subsidiary of ICNet Japan. Yeah, ICNet Limited, Japan. ICNet Limited is established in 1993, located, the headquarters is located in Saitama, Japan, which is the next to Tokyo. And our main clients are Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Forest and Fishery, Japan, and the Ministry of Economy and Trade and Industry, Japan, and then yeah, those are Japanese ministries. And then also we have a private sector clients. And we have offices in United States, Thailand, Laos, Bangladesh, and Kenya. And then that Sri Lanka is the latest one. Yeah, this is our global footprint. That means the location of our overseas offices. And then areas of the operations, as I mentioned, we have mainly engaged with the Official Development Assistance, ODA project, as a consultant. We started our business from this, but actually there are many business opportunities in the developing country or emerging countries at this, in this era. So we have a bit shifted our business to the overseas business development of companies. And also we have much experience of the human resource development for the international developing sector. So we provide human resource development services for the international cooperation sector. And also we support entrepreneurs for who are providing the social business and then who are developing the social businesses. And also we provide the global operations for the Gakken Group. Gakken Group is ICNet's mother company, and then one of the leading education and then elderly sector care company in Japan. And then we provide global operations for Gakken Group. And then let me introduce about the ICNet Lanka. Our concept is 3 C's. This is a 3C of our ICNet Lanka. And then firstly, we would like to connect between Japan and Sri Lanka because there are a lot of business opportunity between Sri Lanka and Japan, and then which is not used yet. So our first concept is to connect between Japan and Sri Lanka. And the second one is a clear social solution for the social issues, because our social issues are always a concern. So we would like to provide a solution for social issues, like mainly I think through the business. And also we would like to, as Mr. Nilakan said, that we would like to achieve the result, not only given the consultancy or advisories, but also we would like to achieve the result. This is so this is our 3C. And then ICNet Lanka is established just this year, and then myself is also the stakeholder, and then ICNet Limited, and then the other country called Syria is also the stakeholder. There are 5 business area of the business contents of ICNet Lanka. We doing the business development support and also import and export support. And also because our headquarters is our mother company is an education company, so we would like to provide education services also. and also human resource introduction from Sri Lanka to Japan, which I'm planning to develop in the future. And also other related business with ICNet and Surya. And then, so it's going to be the ODA consulting and also the study tour and then offshore system development support. And then we have been, I have been engaged with some of the projects funded by METI and JICA already, like such as a seaweed cultivation project funded by JICA, and also the water purification business funded by METI. So this is a brief introduction of ICNet Lanka. And then now I would like to introduce Team Japan in Sri Lanka. Team Japan is a group of Japanese agricultural technology company that wish to contribute to develop agriculture production of Sri Lanka by technological transfer and then knowledge sharing using their products. Vision is to make Sri Lanka one of the major exporting countries of agricultural products in the world and increase GDP value of Sri Lanka. Because we think that Sri Lanka has much potential to be the major exporting countries, but the opportunities are not fully used yet. So we would like to achieve this vision. And the concept is our target is to contribute to the improvement of agricultural production standards in Sri Lanka. So only selling Japanese products cannot meet this target. So we like to work together with the local farmers so that we can contribute the level up of technical competence of the local farmers. So to achieve our vision, we would like to support, firstly, expansion of agricultural production by introducing Japanese agricultural technology and products, and then also the technical assistance. And the next step will be the expansion of export value. And we would like to support by introducing our freshness preserving technology and products. And then maybe in the future, we would like to support G2G agreement of import and export items to increase the import-export items. We would like to, we need the G2G agreement. So we would like to assist for this agreement and then support market penetration also. And how we proceed is we would like to make some model farms in Sri Lanka, and then not only for expanding Japanese products, but also as a result of the model farm, we will invite investment for agriculture project from Japan and maybe also from Sri Lanka too. So this is how we would like to proceed. And then our team is Team Japan is a Kyowa Corporation for farmland renovation, and also Japan Conservation Engineers for soil enrichment, and then Nissan Steel Industry, freshness preservation in our team. But we will have support from the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fishery in Japan, and the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka, and the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Japan, and Chamber of Commerce. And ISB will be our partner to develop local model farms in Sri Lanka. And then, as Mr. Nilakant mentioned, we would like to develop those model farms with the local government and maybe central government and local government and international organization, and also private companies. Yeah. So this is the end of my presentation, but we would like to develop our model farm under this kind of scheme. Japanese side provides products and technical assistance, and then maybe Sri Lankan side will be provide land, human resource, and material, and we will be the coordinator, and then together with the ISB. So we would like to work with local government and an international organization, and as well as a private entity, to develop some model farms. We actually have started discussion with some of the private entities to develop model farms. So if anybody is interested with doing the model farm, yeah, please contact with Mr. Lankan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Takano-san, for your informative presentation. I mean, I hope the participants now you have understanding about the the interaction, or rather the collaboration, or the relationship between ISB and ICNet, and also our intention is to develop the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka, and also to transfer the technology from Japan to Sri Lanka with a focus of expansion of exports, and also in turn improve the GDP contribution from the agriculture sector, and also thereby to enhance and or rather improve the agriculture productivity and the efficiency. So that is what basically we have invited the number of leading the development projects in Sri Lanka, the agriculture sector modernization project, the project director, deputy project director, and all other officials join with us. And in addition, the secretary, Provincial Ministry of Agriculture, Ms. Dharmasiri, and the provincial directors and other officials. National Post Harvest Management Technology Institute, either leading Post Harvest Management Institute in Sri Lanka, they also have joined with us. And in addition, I have noticed that there are a number of leading university professors, they also have joined with us today. So once again, so let me warmly welcome them, though the one who joined right now. So with that, thank you very much once again, Takano-san. We will move on to the next presentation. So now from here onwards is going to be our technical session, the technical presentations. The first presentation is going to be done by the Kiowo. I don't know whether I'm properly pronounced your company name. So pardon me if I am not properly pronounce the company name. So how to best I would pronounce that Kiowo Corporation. Okay, now Kiowa Corporation. Now with us, Mr. Koremasa Tamura, he is the Chief Executive Officer. And then again, we have with us Mr. Masasuna Abe. He is the Chief, the Environmental Division, and also Mr. Krishna Bayu Adinura, Environment Division, is the in charge of the Overseas Business Strategy Officer. Anyway, now there are 3 officials joined from Kiowa Corporation. The presentation is going to be done by Mr. Krishna Bayu Adinbara. Mr. Krishna is in charge of Overseas Business Strategy Development of the company, and basically he has experience of developing the sheet pipe system for multiple countries. He's been working with number of other countries to introduce and develop the sheet pipe system. With that little introduction, let me warmly welcome again and invite Mr. Krishna to make your presentation. Over to you, sir.
First of all, thank you very much for the chance given to us. My name is Krishna. I am from Kiowa Corporation. To save some time, we will directly present our presentation, our technology. Mentioned before in previous presentation that our technology is the one to renovate the farmland. It is a drainage technology for farmlands called sheet pipe system. First, I want to check whether, can you see the presentation right now? In full screen? Okay.
Yes, very well. Very well.
Thank you. Okay, so first, I want to briefly introduce our company. Our company's name is Kiowa Corporation. We are a general construction involved in several construction business like architecture, traditional architecture, and civil engineering. But we also have a division with this, our division, environmental business, which promotes sheet pipe system in farmland in Japan, and currently trying to widen our market to another country as well. The overseas business has been done in several opportunities, like field work in Indonesia and a partnership with various university and international exhibition. And this is our company. We have 3 branches in Japan, and our head office is in Yamaguchi Prefecture in western part of Japan. So why do we need this kind of technology? First, the current situation is that agricultural and land development of paddy fields have several obstacles towards multiple and continuous cultivation, because paddy fields is a wetland where if we want to cultivate the field a whole year, we shall also convert it into dry farmland within during the dry seasons, for example. And therefore, poor drainage would be a very big problem, because with high water retention and poor surface drainage, the land would be not suitable for other cultivation for throughout the year. So we need the production of crop other than rice throughout the year, and then agricultural mechanization, measure against salt or multi-fertilizer damage that is accumulated in the soil, and improvement of yield to increase profit in the unit area. The challenge is that we need to improve this said farmland to be able to accommodate not only one kind of crops during one specific time of year, but various kind of crops in throughout the year. And therefore, we suggest the application of sheet pipe system. So what is the sheet pipe system actually? This is a technology to manage drainage of agricultural land by installing sheet pipes, which is a dedicated drain pipe, a special pipe, in shallow subsoil of farmland horizontally. This consists of unique materials, unique construction process, and simplified management method to manage the water environment in the farmland. The sheet pipe system consists of this technology, which is the sheet pipe. It is originally in the shape of roll like this in the sheet shape, which then will be molded into pipe directly upon installation. The specification is that it can be durable up to 15 or even 20 years, very lightweight and very compact. So the transportation cost will be much lower than original pipe. The construction method is by directly pulling the rolled pipes, which is then molded into underground directly by a heavy machinery called mold drainer. There's no need to dig the land, excavate the land and backfilling it again, and therefore it will be installation cost will be lower with shorter time, up to a quarter of regular installation. High precision of installation can also be done because we use laser level measurement to ensure that the water will flow into the lower ground. And mold drainer is operable even in wetland, and therefore very suitable to convert a swamp or very wetland into farmland. And next, this is a short demonstration video to show you about how actually the construction is done. So you can see the heavy machinery is pulling the pipe underground, and the roll pipe converted into pipe directly open ground. The final configuration will be more or less like this. So there are many parallel pipes with outlet or lock controlling the drainage water, and therefore we can control how much water we want to retain in the farmland, and we can decide what kind of crop we want to cultivate in that farmland in any given year. So the expected result will be as follows. Improvement of wetland can be done because after rain, water will be retained in the farmland and therefore not suitable for dry cultivation. For example, soybean. After the construction, it will be much faster to dry, proven by this water level measurement graph, between the black line, which is not installed, and red is installed farmland. During the rain, of course, water will be elevated drastically, but after that, immediately water will be decreased for the installed farmland. And especially in the whole time, the installed farmland also retain lower water surface than the not installed farmland. For the cultivation of productivity, we can see that there are 20% increase in soybean yields and 40% up to 40% increase in test site in Indonesia, because with more option, 1 year we can not only cultivate twice but 3 times, and therefore yield also increase significantly. This is also a climate change countermeasure, because with the change of climate, we cannot predict the amount of rain or when the rain will begin, and therefore we can adjust the water environment of the farmland to our need. That's all from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Krishna-san, for your very informative and technical presentation. Hope the participants may have a number of questions and the clarifications, especially so you have time. So during the discussion time, they will come up with the questions or rather any clarifications if they wanted to get it clarified from you. So next we will move on to the next item of the agenda, which is about the another important product. This presentation is going to be done by the officials of the Japan Conservation Engineers Private Limited, JCE. So they are the one who introduced the introduction of fujimine. Fujimine is the high concentration fulvic acid, which is first developed in the world in commercial scale. So again, there are 2 officials joined from JCE, Mr. Takahashi Shizutani, manager, business planning department. I'm sorry, I'm again beg your pardon, extremely sorry if I am not properly pronouncing your name. And then again we have with us Mr. Naoya Uno from Environmental Department, JCE, Japan Conservation Engineers. And especially for the presentation, let me warmly welcome and kindly invite Mr. Takahashi. He is the manager of business planning department of the company, and he has been joining many projects to introduce and verification of their products, fujimine, not only in Japan but number of other countries all over the world. So with that a brief introduction, let me invite Mr. Takahashi to make his presentation on fujimine. Over to you, Mr. Takahashi.
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, very well,
Okay.
very well.
And can you see the slide also?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much.
Sorry, use the presentation mode.
Okay. Is that okay? Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Miss Yuri Takano and also Mr. Lankan Waninayake. Okay. Thank you very much for providing us with such a great opportunity today. Okay. On behalf of the Japan Conservation Engineers, I would like to introduce our product, that is plant growth biostimulant, high concentrated fulvic acid solution fujimine today. Okay, my name is Takashi Shimizutani, and I'm responsible for establishing the overseas business in JCE. Okay. Before going to the introduction of our product, I would like to briefly explain about our company. So our company is actually our company is consultants, and our company was founded in 1966. So our company is almost 55 years old, and we have 43 branch offices across Japan, and the number of employees is about 400. Okay, and so as I said before, our main business is consulting for slope-related disaster control, such as landslides or rockfall prevention. So these are our main the business in Japan. Our main customer is the government or local government. However, the greening the slope is also very important for disaster prevention. That's why we firstly developed the Fujimin for greening the slope for erosion control. However, we have realized that our Fujimin technology can be also used for the agriculture sector as well. Then we start concentration to the business, the opposite kind of possibility of making possibility of the business using the Fujimin for the agriculture business overseas. Okay. So now let me start briefly explaining about the Fujimin. What is the Fujimin? And okay, Fujimin is a high concentrate fulvic acid, which is mass produced from a natural byproducts from forestry activity for the first time in the world. Okay, and fulvic acid is a natural resource which is normally available in very small quantities in nature and is normally found in humus. Because of the chemical components of fulvic acid, minerals such as Fe2+ or Mg2+, which are essential for photosynthesis, are more easily coordinated by fulvic acid and can be more smoothly brought into the cell of the plant. Because of that function, the photosynthesis can be more activated and the plant growth gets promoted. Therefore, Fujimin works as plant growth biostimulant. Moreover, Fujimin is certified the accreditation of organic JAS, Japanese Agriculture Standard Materials. So you can use Fujimin for your organic agriculture if you like. So this is for your another information. We have registered the Fujimin for to the platform for the Sustainable Promotion Platform, which is managed by the United Nations Industry Development Tokyo office. The information of Fujimin is now available on the homepage of UNIDO Tokyo office. And now, moreover, the logo of the step like that will be on the package of Fujimin in the future. So now let's move on to the application cases. Okay. Please look at the top picture at the top. The picture shows a field test conducted for the salt accumulated land in China. The land was barren almost all plants cannot survive there. However, we desalinated the land using Fujimine because it has desalinating function. The picture at bottom shows a case of application of Fujimine for tomato field in Paraguay, compared with the Fujimine not sprayed group. The sprayed group faster. And the picture on the right-hand side shows a case of application of Fujimine for lime trees in Paraguay. Similar to the tomatoes case, the lime trees with Fujimine grew much faster. Okay. And okay, and this shows the case of application of Fujimine for soybean in Paraguay. And regarding the farmland we tested, the average yield of soybeans was used to be 2.9 tons per hectare. Then we applied Fujimine for the farmland. As a result, the yield of soybeans became 4.3 tons per hectare. That means that the Fujimine increased the yield by 1.5 times. Okay, this is a case of application of Fujimine for sesame seed in Paraguay. We conducted the similar application comparison test, and so results is as follows. That the plant height became taller and the color of leaves became deeper. The yield increased on all the farmland sprayed with Fujimine. The roots became thicker and longer, and it improved the quality of the seeds. And now let me briefly explain about the product specification of Fujimine. We sell our products at a unit of 1 liter bottle or 10 liter tanks, plastic tanks. Regarding the price, we sell, actually the end user's price is about almost 10,000 Japanese yen, which is equivalent to $90 US per liter. As you may know, we have registered organic jazz. And regarding the how to use, when Fujimine is used, dilute Fujimine 500 times with water. And the 1 liter of diluted Fujimine solution will cover 1 square meters of farmland. But now this is kind of Japanese standards. So for your countries, the volume
is very right.
Excuse me. Okay.
Okay. Extremely sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
May I, extremely sorry. Let me again request everyone to mute your mics. Otherwise, this may distract the presentation. Sorry, okay. Extremely sorry. Over to you.
It's okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Anyway, 1 liter of the diluted Fujimine solution will cover at least 1 square meters of farmland. Because our company, our main job is consultant. Whenever we start kind of selling the Fujimine, we usually conduct the soil condition analysis. We analyze the soil condition and provide the best solution for improving the soil condition, including the effective use of Fujimine. So the item we can offer with Fujin and our experience, we can contribute to increasing the yield of crops and providing healthy crops and improving the condition of farmland, which is damaged by soils or excess fertilizers. About our business interest in Sri Lanka. We wish to establish a business in using Fujini in Sri Lanka. Therefore, we are looking for a business partner in Sri Lanka. We are currently interested in crops which have economically importance in Sri Lanka. We are also interested in crops which contributes to upgrading food value chains. We wish to contribute to increasing farmers' income in Sri Lanka eventually. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you very much, Takashi-san. Once again, for very informative and very important presentation. So, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a number of questions or rather clarifications from the delegates from our end. But anyway, so thank you very much for your time and making a very attractive and informative presentation for the benefit of the Sri Lankan counterpart. So we will move on to the last presentation of the technical session. So it's about the Fresh Mama. The presentation by Nissan Steel Industry. Introduction of Fresh Mama, the freshness preserving sheet is very important for the fruits and vegetable industry in Sri Lanka. This is to maintain the freshness of the fruits and vegetable industry, to maintain the freshness. For that, so we have with us two officials from Nissan Steel Industry, Mr. Hideo Nishimoto. Mr. Hideo Nishimoto as the director, Nissan Steel Industry. But though the originally Dr. Shigeki Kawakami, so he is from the Institution of Scientific and Industrial Research, Osaka University, Japan. He was intended to join the session, but due to his unavoidable circumstances and due to the important official commitments, he is unable to join with us today. But for the replacement of Dr. Shigeki, but in fact, Dr. Shigeki is the one who really initiated this project, invent this project, the product. I really, it's my duty or rather my responsibility to recognize him. Dr. Kawakami is the inventor of Fresh Mama to preserve the freshness of the fruits and vegetables. He invented Fresh Mama with the cooperation with Nissan Steel Industry by the academic industry collaboration. Unlike in Sri Lanka, but in Japan and some of the developed country, they have a very close interaction with industry and the university. So this is a very good example where the research institution develop the world famous technology and then they transfer the technology to the commercial enterprise to develop as a commercial product. With that introduction, let me invite Ms. Taman Lasan, to make a presentation together with Mr. Hideo Nishimoto, Director, Nissan Steel Industry. Over to you. I think your mic is muted.
Sorry. Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Tamang Lasang, and I work for Nissan Steel Corporation, and I will be introducing about our product Fresh Mama with hopes that by the end of our presentation you will know about Fresh Mama. Fresh Mama is a scientifically proven world first freshness preserving solution, which is a collaboration project by you have said before, Mr. Kawakami from Osaka University and Nissan Steel Corporation. The First, before introducing fresh mama, I'd like to point out some problems of trade. Generally, there is a 30% of the export fruits goes rotten before going up to the customer's hand, and there are already several, even though there are already several solutions like CA, controlling atmosphere container, conservation freshness, skipping plastic films, and so on, but the general loss rate is still 30%. One of some of those reasons for 30% losses are respiration. If respiration of the fruits are not controlled, it will result in its speed decaying and reducing of the vitamin of the fruits. And second one is transportation. When transporting agricultural from one place to another, there is always a issue on the change in the temperature, and that causes the degradation of the quality of the fruits. And third is the Italian gas. Italian gas is a naturally produced gas from agriculture products after harvest, which makes them age and rot depending on the amount. You can also say Italian gas is the aging hormone of the agricultural product. Even though cold chains and logistics and MA packaging, like normal packaging that we use normally, controls point 1 and 2, but it does not controls the Italian gas that are produced by the agricultural product. And one of those, like I have said before, while transporting agricultural product from one place to another, generally there are several occasions fruits are put under normal temperature, and timing causes a heat shock, which generates a large amount of Italian gas and to consideration. When during the transportation, when Italian gas is produced in a large amount, fresh mama controls those Italian gas and it preserves the freshness. And besides, food waste is a major concern in the world, and SDGs of the and that is one of the SDGs agenda. SDGs have recognized Nissan Steel's Fresh Mama as a freshness preserving product. And what if we say that those 30% of the loss can be reduced up to 10%? We just putting thin plastic film on top of the fruits in carton box like this, as you can see in the picture. This is a function of Fresh Mama. Fresh Mama controls not only in the respiration and transportation, but it will decompose Italian gas even under the normal temperature environment without sunlight. Italian gas decompose into nano water and carbon dioxide, and those nano water helps in prevent of the mold at some point. So it is a very beneficial and good for preserving freshness of the fruits. This is a comparison graph between cold chain logistics and MA packaging, which we normally use. But it only helps it only helps controls in the respiration. But with fresh mama bag and fresh mama sheets, it will control preserve the freshness while transporting, and it will decompose the Italian gas. It reduced 80% of the Italian gas in 3 hours, and the ratio becomes almost 100% in 24 hours. With this capacity, it will overcome the heat shock that degrades the agricultural product. And this is this exhibition was actually held in India. It is 3 days later at the venue of the exhibition. It was there was around 33-degree temperature. As you can see in the picture, the differences between with fresh mama and without fresh mama. And this is a green paper that we this was done in our own office, and it was the picture of 10 days after bought from the market. You can see the differences very clearly. And this is a grapes that are found in Japan. As you can see, it was 100-day picture of after 100 days. The mold observation, you can see the mold was occurred after 60 days, and it kept increasing day by day. By the way, these two grapes were stored in a 5 degrees Celsius. And this is a picture of a Hawaiian papaya that was actually sent from Japan to USA. Before using Fresh Mama, the loss rate was 30%. But after using Fresh Mama by SIP and by plane, the loss rate was reduced up to 10%. And Fresh Mama can be found in normal size, half size, bag type, and big bag type. And other information is Fresh Mama can be used repeatedly. It is a reusable product up to 1 year, one or more year, and we guarantee you up to the 1 year. But after 1 year, it can be used, but we don't guarantee after 1 year. And the contract certified by the Japan Food Research Laboration. The Fresh Mama is certified as a safety product in India, China, Europe, America, and Africa. And the world patent publication number, as you can see in the picture. And at last, I would like to add some of my points. As we all know that fruits should be stored in a different temperature with their nature. And if we store those fruits in those temperature with according to their nature, and with Fresh Mama, we can extend their life and reduce the food loss. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lasan Sang. Again, a very informative and a very important presentation about how to preserve the fruits and vegetables by using the Fresh Mama. Now, so we have already completed the 3 presentations from Kyogo Corporation, the Japan Conservation Engineers, and the Nissan Steel Industry. Now we move on to an important session, which is a discussion time. Now the time is 10:40. So we are on the, as per the schedule. So we are as per the schedule. We don't have any deviation from the schedule. So we have time up to 11:20 for the discussion. And yes, I think I do strongly believe that you may have number of questions, clarifications, or rather you need some proposals or discuss to continue. And especially during the discussion time, let me invite everyone to come up with, if you, make it short, be specific. So even if you have any question or any the clarification, be specific and make it short and simple. And you need to mention your name before you make any proposal or any question. And also, in addition, you also could use the chat box. I'm sure there are over 80 participants, 84 participants right now with us today. Because of that, all 84 can't talk now. But if you have any questions, so please use the chat box so that we can keep those the details in our the custody. So with that, I'll open the forum to you. So please use this time. And it may again recognize and important personalities here. Dr. Rohan Vijayakon, who is the project director from World Bank funded Agriculture Sector Modernization Project. Ms. Geeta Dharmasiri, the Secretary, Agriculture Ministry of Provincial Council, Northwestern Province. Mr. Sisara Kumara, Provincial Director, Agriculture, Northwestern. And then his officials. And then again with us, Dr. Kumudini Gunasekara from Agriculture Sector Modernization Project Value Chain Component. And then again from Dr. Nilanthi from National Post Harvest Technology Institute, Anuradhapura. And all leading company CEOs and managing directors and other officials. Now it's time for you to start with your questions. So please make use of this time. Over to you. Yeah, Dr. Vijayakorn.
Can I speak?
Sure,
Can you hear?
sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Thanks very much for organizing this important event. So I have few questions regarding sheet pipe system. Right now we have a problem for guava. I'll just show my slide. Can you see this slide?
Doctor, give me. Let me request my officer to allow you to share.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Wait, not yet, sir.
It's appearing now, doctor. It's appearing now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now.
Not yet.
Can you see
Still
this?
not shared. No, doctor. All right. Okay. Okay.
Now, in our project, so we have a guava cluster with somewhere around 1,000 farmers in north central province. So we have a problem in this area due to poor drainage system. So now this is the area earmarked. So we want to improve the entire drainage system in this area. So we are looking for technology. I'm really interested about the sheet pipe system which you introduce now. So how can we get involved in this project? So we have some funds from the World Bank. So immediately I want to get into this to improve the drainage system to plant guava. So that is number one regarding sheet pipe. And again, regarding the fugimin samples, can we get fugimin samples immediately as a growth regulator so we can do some trials in our cluster program? The third question, again, can we get some samples of the fresh mama so immediately so we can do some experiments and get into reefer container export. So we are in the process of reefer container export. So those are the three technical questions I want to get clarification. One is how to apply sheet pipe system to guava, and then the second one is to get samples of fugimin immediately and some samples of SESMA. In the meantime, in the Mrs. Yuri Takano's presentation, I saw that they are involved in some grapes adaptability research work. So we have some funds to introduce suitable grape variety to this country. So can we get involved with this process also? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijayakorn. So in fact,
if you don't mind, I want to add one more request. Is it okay?
Yeah, Mr. Gunawardhan, over to you.
Yes, because you know that one of the big issues in exporting baby banana, the Ambul banana from again Anuradhapur area, North Central Province, you know the size of the banana is very small, and there is any really that our international service providers, they do all these covering up bags and other things, some which outside the banana bunch. Is there any because we have introduced some fertilizer, organic fertilizer. With that, I don't know whether that putting more nutrients, whether the size of banana could be improved.
Okay, very clear. Thank you very much for making very specific and make very short. So, in fact, now Dr. Vijayakorn, now that is what we are here to coordinate from Sri Lankan end, and from the Japanese end, the Takano-san is connecting with us. But let me request the Kyoba company and again the JSCE and also the Nissan Steel to answer the questions raised by Dr. Vijay Kon, and thereby so we can have a separate discussion with Dr. Vijay Kon to move forward his the requirement. So over to these three companies to answer the question.
Okay, or maybe we can start to answer first from Kyowa Corporation.
Sure.
Okay. First, thank you very much for the question, Dr. Vijay Kon. Previously, I presented to you the presentation, but maybe we can see it again once more for the normal layout of sheet pipe system. So the normal layout is more or less like this. So there are parallel pipes underground, which will be used to drain the water and then discharge it in the outlet side, which is a existing culvert. So this is configuration is for wetlands, wet farmland, particularly rice paddy, and therefore the distance between pipe will be 4 meters, while the depth of the pipe is 45 centimeter. But for guava, so far we haven't had this application on the plantation yet, but we already have conducted some planning in Indonesian palm oil plantation, and we concluded that for such kind of plantation, the pipe distance will be further and the depth will be deeper, because the root, we have to consider about the depth of the root so that it won't damage the pipe. And therefore, for us to determine whether how is the configuration of the guava plantation, we need to know the detail about the land. For example, the distance between the trees, and then the depth of the roots, and how far is it from the existing drainage culvert. And therefore, it is possible, but we have the need to investigate further first. And I forgot to mention about the cost of this system, but for this normal configuration, 1 hectare will be cost, including the installation, will be $23,000 US. But since for the plantation, it will be okay, the distance will be further, and therefore less material to be used. It will be potentially much lower. I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, answer is okay. No, only thing, Mr. Wadinaika, how can we get down experts to see the field immediately?
Yeah, doctor, thank you very much for your, I mean, now what we can do now, certainly now today is basically to make aware the stakeholders about the technology available, and also to getting to know each other. Now the more details, we'll be having a separate meeting with you similar to this one, and it's very important to have individual meetings.
Yeah.
Okay.
We look forward to it.
So we will coordinate that part from Sri Lanka. Okay, so then we will move on to the next two companies, the Fresh Mama and the Fujimin. So next.
I need an answer for the grapes adaptability trial, and then regarding the two products.
Let me briefly explain about the possibility of the Fujimin can be, solve the problem. We have not tested our product for the Fusarium disease, but in general, when you use the Fujimin, the plants normally become more robust, increase the robustness. So maybe there is a possibility when you use the Fujimin, it may help for solving that the issue. But also, the Fujimin is an acidic kind of solution. When you apply the Fujimin for the leaves of the GABA plant. So maybe also it may also work. There is a possibility maybe the Fujinin can kind of to prevent the increasing the fusarium disease in the GABA plant. It is my answer. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Finally, Lasan-san.
Oh yes,
From-
about the sample, right?
That's
So
right.
yeah, like for the sample, you can email us, and we will send you a sample with instruction that how to use a fresh mama. Like I have said at the end of my presentation that every fruits and vegetables should be stored in a certain temperature within nature. If in those instructions, we will tell you how to use it and how temperature, how much temperature that should be kept in. So email us how many pieces, and yeah, we can send you sub samples right away.
Right. Thank you, Lasan-san. So I'll be coordinating from this end with the project, and so then we'll let you know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
my last question, Mr. Warinaik, this is for Yuri Takano regarding grapes variety adaptability trial in Sri Lanka.
Takan-san.
Sorry, can you repeat it again? Yeah.
Now, I saw in your slide.
Yes.
Right now, you are involved in grapes.
Grapes. Yeah.
So we are looking for a grape scientist to introduce variety to Sri Lanka. So we have some funds from World Bank immediately. So I need to communicate with you regarding this matter.
Okay, I will discuss with the grape specialist and then get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now it's time for others, and before I move into, now there are a number of other questions in the chat box. From Dr. Kumudini Gunsekara. She is asking, would like to know whether there are any added microbial inoculum in Fujimin biostimulant product, or it's just a fulvic acid as active ingredients. Over to you, the Fujimin company, to answer this question raised by
Takashi. Okay, let me answer the question. The Fujimin doesn't contain any microbial things, microbes. So that's why we can export our product to any countries overseas. And as far as the active ingredient of Fujimin, main ingredient is, of course, the fulvic acid, but because of the kind of production procedure, our product also contains a small amount of the acetic acid as well. Therefore, so our product is not the fulvic acid 100%. No, the main ingredient is the fulvic acid, but also our product contains other small materials, chemicals. But it's from all kind of natural that's in nature. So therefore, you can use our product for the organic agriculture. Is it okay?
Thank you, Takashi-san. Dr. Kumudini, have you clear enough? I think he has answered your question, I suppose.
Yes. I just want to get clarified whether it has any other thing. That's okay. If it's
Right.
natural.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, then we have another question from Mr. Shana Mirando from PhDT. Now he's asking whether there any possibility to share the presentation made by JCE and also the sheet pipe. So what I can answer here, maybe we will discuss with the Japanese counterpart, Miss Yuri Takano, and then we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
And another, okay, that's all. I mean, again, floor is over to you. I mean, you are the participants to have any questions, any clarifications. So please make use of this time. So we have another 20 minutes more.
Thank you very much for your program. I am Provincial Director, Northwestern Province. Really, this kind of technology is very essential for especially crop management, especially organic agriculture. So already we shared your leaflet regarding on Fresh Mama and Fujimin to our staff. So they want to know that some technologies about these two products. I am also asking about, can we get your presentation to us for our staff? I can share my staff and I can give this knowledge to my staff. Another one, also, can we get some sample to check our field in this two product, especially I think it's very good product for the Fujimin. It can be help to the increase growth and yield. We can check our Sri Lankan product, especially the vegetable, but also vegetables. Also, I want to know that it can be help to in for the increase of paddy yield. I want to know that. I think this kind of technologies is we like to introduce our farmers, especially the Northwestern Province. Thank you. Please. Also, I want to know that price of this product. I saw some 10,000 yen per 1 liter. I want to know that this 1 liter, how many acres, how many hectares can be used for the 1 liter of product of Fujimin? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Sisira. In fact, now all the questions or other clarifications are very important, and our delegates, they will answer your questions. But basically, since the secretary is with us today, Ms. Geeta Dharmasiri, and also the chief secretary, Mr. Sirisena, is with us today, hopefully we would like to discuss the model farm concept with the Department of Agriculture and the Ministry of Agriculture. So maybe we can have a separate meeting with with you and the secretary and the chief secretary to promote these products, or rather the technology transfer to Sri Lanka, especially with the focus of Northwestern Province as a public sector model. So that we will discuss later on. But anyway, now the rest of the questions, let me request the three companies to answer.
Okay, this is from Japan Conservation Engineers. I would like to answer the question about the price and how much volume of the also how much of the Fujimin can be applied to the what areas, how many areas. So it's to be honest, it varies. So it depending on the situation of the soil condition and also the type of the plant. maybe in Japan, we used to use much more amount of the Fujimin for the more kind of more smaller land. But we have been testing our product in Paraguay. In the case of Paraguay, actually we use 1 liter of Fujimin for 1 hectare farmland. So it's very convenient. So maybe in your country, so maybe you can use the less amount of the Fujimin to your farmland, not like Japan. Okay.
Thank you. Is there any further questions or other clarifications from our audience, from the participants who join us today, even the private sector, the development agencies, projects, and also the other the public sector agencies? So please take your time. So please make use of this time, to get it clarified the questions. But I'm sure certain the business discussions we'll have to organize separately. So of course we are not going to discuss the detailed business discussions here today, but just to if you have any further clarifications, further information, or any general questions, you may get it clarified. I'm sure you have to. I mean, we'll be coordinating all the future discussions. I mean, so we have to take the appointments from you all and to coordinate the individual discussion. I think Mr. Arjuna Balasuriya is trying to say something. Over to you, Mr. Balasuriya.
Good morning, Mr. Vandinayaka. Good morning, everybody. This is not actually a question. This is a kindly request whether we can obtain the sample of Fujimin, because I have seen in the presentation, I have seen it's having a significant improvement if we can use Fujimin for our cultivation. That's the question, how we can get the sample or how we can arrange the business relationship for the Fujimin.
Yeah, Mr. Balasuriya, which company you are representing?
I'm representing Haley's Quality Seed.
Okay, now Mr. Balasuriya, now in fact I will post my contact details here, my email address, my phone number, so you may directly contact with me, so that I will coordinate from this end, and then we can fix up a meeting, separate meeting, individual meetings with the company for further discussions and the business one-to-one business meeting. So it's definitely we need to organize one-to-one business meeting. Thanks.
Yeah, please facilitate us. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Nirakon-san, actually there are some questions on the chat box also. Yeah, like Fujimin can be used for rice cultivation from.
Yes, there's a question from Miss Pasani Kotuegoda.
Maybe the up one, yeah.
Okay, first let me finish this one. Sorry. Is the Fresh Mama freshness preserving sheets going to be produced in Sri Lanka? Okay, so that's a very good. Even I also rather invite the Fresh Mama company. I mean, explore the possibility to make an investment in Sri Lanka. Now, being an organization supporting to promote foreign direct investment to Sri Lanka, even we will give you a piece of land in Sri Lanka in northeastern province. If you're really interested, even now we have signed number of free trade agreements with South Asian countries. If you make use of Sri Lanka as your lucrative destination, I mean, we have very skilled human resource base in Sri Lanka. So you can make use of Sri Lanka as the production destiny, and you can rather export your product to South Asian countries. Yes, this question is over to you, Fresh Pharma Company.
About the production of the Fresh Mama in Sri Lanka.
That's
yes,
right.
we will very interested in it, but there are some certain machines and of course the factories that should that can produce fresh mama. We need to find those. And about this production, I think you need to contact us directly for that, because production, we need a very big fact, not a big, but a very combination for everything. So I think it might take some time, but we are very much interested.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we are here to support you to make your investment, the reality. So we'll have a chat with you separately. Okay. Again, there's a question from Dilini, Miss Dilini Tharangi. So what are the new technologies for post-harvest practices and detain the ripening to reduce wastage? Again, this question is goes to Fresh Mama Company. Lasan-san, over to you.
Okay. About fresh mama, can you say the question again? Sorry.
Now, I think you may see this in the chat box. What are the new technologies for post-harvest practices and detain the ripening to reduce wastages?
For to reduce the wastages, we are still in research right now, but fresh mama is burnable. It does not produce any chemicals, so we suggest our customers to use as a waste or burn this fresh mama after using for 1 or more years. And of course, if it is I think everybody will not be burning like handling these fresh mama, but if you use in a soil, throw in a soil, it can be decomposed in 5 or 4 years, and in air it will take at least 2 or more years. So it is a very and also it is made of a hydrogen PP flame, so it can also be used as a reusable plastic. So it is a very eco-friendly.
Okay, thank you, Lasan-san. Okay, we have another 10 more minutes for the discussion.
Let me answer some questions, and my colleague, Mr. Ueno, will answer.
Okay, I'm answering some question from the chat box. The question is the Fujimin can be used for the rice cultivation. Yes, of course, the Fujimin can be used for the any type of the crops, at least crops doing the photosynthesis. So like in Paraguay, we already use like soybean, tomato, green peppers, and the lime, and also the sesame trees. And also in Japan, we have already experienced for some fruit things too. Even though we also use for the tea leaves in Japan as well. And also we have an experience for the rice cultivation as well. So any type of crops, Fujimin can be used. Thank you. And also the one question,
Organic.
Allowed to use the organic certificate cultivation? Yes, that's right. Because we already got organic certified in Japan. So in Japan, the organic farmers can be used in Fujimin.
For organic agriculture.
Yes. And
but we need to confirm our Japanese kind of organic JAS certification can be directly used in your country or not before using the trial Fujimin to your organic agriculture. I don't know if your government is very strict. Maybe we need to register Fujimin in your country again, or I don't know whether or not we can use our certificate for the kind of organic jazz directly to the apply to the Sri Lanka, but someone need to confirm.
Yeah, in fact, Takashi-san, that's a very good question. Maybe the Department of Agriculture, they will tell you more details. But to import any agrochemical to Sri Lanka, you need to, our chemical or whatever the thing that you use in Sri Lanka, you need to get the approval from Register of Pesticide, Peradenia. So department, which is coming under the Department of Agriculture. So those are details. Those are details. Maybe this is what Takashi-san, I inform you. We need to have a one-to-one meetings with interested parties, so that these details we could get it clarified, and we will go into more kind of a the arrangements to have a direct linkage with you. Yes, Mr. Sunil Govindage, over to you.
Yes. Really, I was unable to join to the meeting at the beginning. Really, I couldn't, some technical error. So really, this is a very interesting for me, and I would like to, Mr. Nilakant, again, if you have any, organize another meeting with them, please let me know in advance so then I can join to the meeting.
So you are from agriculture sector modernization
project. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so Dr. Vijayakon, Mr. Dambika Guruvardhana, and also Mr. Lakshman Vijayavardhana, three of your officials have joined with us. And in fact, Dr. Vijayakon, he came up with a number of questions and also some clarifications. And I mean, now we are in the process of organizing a separate meeting with the project. So
yes, good.
Move forward the request made by him. So for that meeting, of course, you also could join with us.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Govindage. Thank you.
Okay.
So we have another 5-10 minutes time.
I think there is another question for Fujimin. Maybe can it be used for traditional variety as well as a hybrid variety of rice cultivation? Is it a question for the Fujimin, Ms. Divini Tarangi?
Yes. Fujimin can be used for rice cultivation. That's a question. Again, for the Fujimin company.
No, actually, there is another question from for the traditional variety or the hybrid variety. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Takashi, over to you.
Could you elaborate on the word of the traditional variety or hybrid varieties? I would like to know what it is. Someone please explain about that meaning. Sorry.
Can someone elaborate more on this? So what is the meaning of traditional variety and the hybrid? The traditional is more, according to my understanding, is the local varieties we have. The hybrid is the developed varieties, right?
You mean the seed?
That's right.
Type of seed.
So
I mean, one of the agriculture scientists, why don't you explain this? I think much better than me. I mean, either Mr. Sisara Kumara or anyone from agriculture sector modernization project. Who this asked? I mean, the person who even asked question, he could certainly explain what it is.
Anyway, my understandings, you taught us even though the seed is different, the type of the seed is different. It was like traditional or the new one, but doesn't matter for using the Fujimin. So that's the only we use for any crops. So it doesn't matter any type of the seed. Thank you.
Can I intervene?
Yeah, Mr. Gunawardena, over to you.
Now, because the question that I raised with regard to baby banana, that is Ambur, because very specifically now we are targeting to export it with the help of our international service providers. The problem is, their rejection rate is very high. The exporters say the quality is not up to standard because of the size, because small size, because some of the arms are very small when it goes down. So then we'll have to improve the non-rejection, that was exportable quality of the plants, the banana. So then can this fertilizer or any other mechanism that would help us to improve the quality, to bring all them into the exportable level? Thank you.
Extremely sorry, Mr. Gunawardena. So in fact, they have not properly answered your question. Maybe, I don't know whether they are in a position to directly answer your question. Again, the question goes to Mr. Takahashi. Takahashi-san, but Mr. Gunawardena wanted to know, the Fujimine can be used to, now in Sri Lankan context, so we have number of varieties, the small varieties. We call it apple, and then I don't know whether what's the proper name in English. Now there are small varieties, banana varieties. Now what he wanted to get it clarified from you, make use of this Fujimine. Can the banana turn into the exportable, the product? Am I correct, Mr. Gunawardena?
Yeah, it has to be, that now we have a very long banana bunch, but the problem is the weight is also high. But to make them exportable, that the size of the banana is to be complete, or it has to be very
size of the fruit,
size of the plant. So as a result, since the rejection rate is so high for the export market, our targeted farmers are really preferring to target to the local market, right? So then we'll have to somehow promote this, because which is sustainable in the long run. So we'll have to ensure how to improve that quality to make it all them exportable, reducing the rejection rate. Thank you.
Okay, let me answer your questions. I don't know if I can perfectly answer your question, but I will try. And so based on our experience in Paraguay, we have successful results about the tomato and also green peppers, which has the size of the green pepper and tomato much bigger, and the size is become more consistent, not varied.
Exactly.
So that is more, I think, suitable for exporting products. So, and also, according to our knowledge, the fluvic acid may also work for make the product lasting longer. So maybe it helps for kind of exporting that kind of process. Yes.
So we will discuss this when we meet.
But we need to test our product for the bananas in your case.
Thank you. When we meet, we will do the discussion further.
Maybe Mr. Gunawardena, during our one-to-one discussion,
yes.
requested by Dr. Vijayakon, we can get it further clarify these the questions.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, and I saw that Mr. Rishi is trying to raise a question. Over to you, Mr. Rishi, if you have anything to get it clarified here from Agripreneurs Forum. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Rishi, over to you.
On the bananas in Sri Lanka, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
Yes, the question.
Mr. Rishi, maybe you have a signal issue.
With regard to the banana,
Mr. Rishi, we can't hear you.
Of the export market, can you hear me now?
No, it's okay. Okay.
Yeah. The question was with regard to bananas, now from an exporter's point of view, there is a demand for what is called the baby banana, which is ambold and those varieties. But clearly the answer was provided partially. That is that customers want uniform size because there is a niche market. Unlike this Cavendish and all that, there are companies like those two company, they have a science by ensuring that the Cavendish variety, each banana is uniform. But our Ambul, they prefer they call it the baby banana in export markets in Europe, but they want uniform. That is from the first size to the bigger size in the bunches. So if you can find a way to do that with some trials, I'm sure that will be a big benefit to the local variety development to get the size uniform. Second one is also, I think I got a response from Mr. Yuki, that is to include one or two private sector partners in the model farm who can bring some value on current experiences and also the need areas. I'm wondering if that's possible together with department. We are working closely now to include in the model farm one or two private sector companies who could also come in as partners. And I'm sure there are quite a few willing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Rishi, for your, the clarification and the thoughts. Of course, now the main intention of today's program is to, just to raise awareness, and then definitely there'll be a further discussions. We need to, the organize kind of a one-to-one business meetings. So we will follow. We'll follow.
Yeah, and also I must say the program was excellent. A lot of the insights provided by the various examples of great value and will of help. So I will share this with our agripreneur membership. We have about 150 members. A lot of them are SMEs, so they will find a great value in a lot of the thoughts expressed. So we will share this also and engage with you throughout Mr. Lankan together with the Japanese partners involved.
Sure.
Thank you very much for organizing.
Sure, Mr. Rishi. Maybe we can have a separate meeting with your agripreneurs forum. Sure. Thank you. Okay, so now time is 11:25, and also, there were, some of them have already requested for me to share my details. I have already shared my details, but for your information, so I'm Nilakant Vaninayaka. I'm the Executive Director, CEO here. And I think most of you all know my, the email address. I have already posted in chat box, and my phone number 0777 804950. Let me come again, 777 804950, and I mentioned my email address here, Nilakant W NEELAKANTHW @isb.lk. If you have any query, any request, any clarification, you have to channel through me, through ISB, so that we can get in touch with the Japanese companies, and maybe definitely so we will organize a separate discussion with you. So with that, we move on to the final part of the discussion, and I hope we have had a very successful program today. And of course, first of all, let me take this opportunity to thank everyone, especially our Japanese delegates who join with us with our the coordination and the invitation. And of course, the first of all, let me thank our the Chief Secretary, the Chairman of ISB, Mr. PVM Sirisena, who connect us today and making a inspirational speech, and he set the tone for us to to forward this initiative with you. And he throughout this the endeavor, he is with me, and then he gives certain directions and the guidelines for me to freely organize this program without any interruption. And also I take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Geeta Dharmasiri, the Secretary, the Provincial Ministry, and also Mr. Sisira Kumara, the Provincial Director Agriculture. Those are the two people who initially coordinate with me to organize this program for the benefit of the Wayamba agriculture community. And with that, I have decided to expand this one not only for the northwestern province but also the entire part of the country. And of course, you know, the three companies from Japan, Kyowa Corporation, Japan Conservation Engineers, and Nissan Steel, all the officials from these companies. So your presentations were excellent, and then you were well prepared, and then they were very informative, and most of the participants, they were rightly mentioned. So from our point of view, from the Sri Lankan counterparts, they are really interested to have the business contacts with you to transfer the Japanese technology to Sri Lanka. Now, I mean, even at the very outset, at my, you know, the first, you know, the appearance, I have informed you that this discussion we have basically organized based on the results focus, results based. Otherwise, it's no point of having a number of meetings, discussions without having a results. So whatever we do, we try our level best to come up with the results. So we see there's a lot of enthusiasm, lot of, you know, the encouragement from our part, and that will be leading to have a direct business relationship with you all to transfer the technology for Sri Lanka, and in turn this would be beneficial to both parties. And with that, so I will assure you to coordinate with both ends, with Sri Lankan end and also the Japanese end. And finally, last but not the least, my colleague, my counterpart, Miss Yuri Takano. So she the one who closely work with us. ICNet is the company, ICNet Japan and ISB. So we are long-term partners. We've been working with them since 2000 for about 20 years now, and we have established a very huge trust on them. So we work with them in number of assignments in Sri Lanka, and especially in this endeavor. So we really would like to work with them to you know, transfer technology for agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. Not only that, we also have engaged in some more interventions to promote business between Sri Lanka and Japan. And finally, let me also invite our Japanese delegates, Japanese partners, to explore the possibilities to invest in Sri Lanka. Even now with the right now the government of Sri Lanka decided to convert the conventional farming to sustainable agriculture. So this is right time for you to think on this and to explore the possibilities in Sri Lanka, not only just for the trading but also for investments. So we will facilitate you, and even if you wish, we can give you a piece of land in our industrial zones. So we are in the process of developing an industrial park in Sri Lanka. So we will give you a piece of land with all facilities provided by ISB. So we certainly would welcome your investment, not only your products, to promote Sri Lanka. Certainly we are here to support you, and I would say we had a very successful program. And thank you everyone, all company CEOs, the managing directors, and all public sector officials, all distinguished guests, invitees, and everyone for your presence here today to make this event a very successful one. So thank you very much. Thank you. So we'll meet a similar program in very soon. Hopefully one-to-one business discussion to have a fruitful business relationship with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nirakan-san. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you to everyone.